Chapter 19, In Its Hands. Third Pav. Watching, always there and never leaving anything alone. Nature was everywhere and there was not a single place where there was not even the slightest clue of it. Be it just the dirt on the shoe or a leaf carried inside. It didn't matter at all. As the children were outside, this one particular tree was watching the hero carefully as his very own child was placed on the ground. For it, the owner of it, the master, was nothing more than a child which it loved. A living being it held so dearly as if it was its own child. The creation of this quirk was quite simple. It was created out of the fear this very child had in combination with his blood, which was spilled more than enough on the ground over all the years Midoriya had lived. It was the dirt he had in the wounds which gave it life. Eraserhead had put Izuku on the ground as the child was exhausted of the quirk's sudden anger outburst. One might quickly realize that this quirk was not just a simple quirk but a sentinel being on its own. All the hate, the sorrow as well as the anxiety and pain inside of Izuku gave birth to this quirk in a situation where he feared for his life, and perhaps if this quirk didn't came to exist, this very child would have died back in the forest. This creature which came to life had a purpose and its only pleasure was Izuku. No one could tell what would happen if Midoriya would die. Would it cease to exist or would it actually continue to live on? Who knows? Who knows? However, right now, it was watching and waiting. The moment the healer came over and the heroes were more focusing on Izuku, this creature started to make its move. The children were all outside. Bakugo was screaming at one of his minions how stupid everything was as usual. However, this time was different. Slowly some roots started to make their way across the field towards Bakugo. It was invisible to the eyes as these roots were all going beneath the earth. In fact, no one could have detected this danger at all. Everything seemed quite normal. The moment they were right beneath Bakugo, it suddenly happened. All the chaos and all the wrath broke out. Roots shot up from the ground. They started to go around Bakugo as the kid couldn't do anything at all. Not even his explosions could help him out of this situation at all. The children around him started all screaming and the heroes rushed towards the child. Needless to say, this was just the beginning. One could refer to what was going on to a cage. A well-made cage that was not only there to hold the child in place but also develop into something much, much more. Mike. Vlad, do something. Vlad. What do you think I am doing, you damn cockatoo? Eraserhead. We need to get him out of there. Indeed, that was really what they had to do, but would they be able to do that was the question. The roots were tightening up on the kid as they started to grow in quite a fast pace until the roots itself seemed more tree-like than anything at all. No one thought that something like this would happen. However, when the roots started to blossom as well, all the heroes started backing away. Bakugo. Ah. Bakugo was screaming in pain as the roots started closing in around him. However, the flowers around him were all pretty and all were of the color red. It even went so far that these roots were starting to cut into the boy's skin. The blood that was coming out was not dripping to the ground, however, at all. In fact, it was actually being consumed by the very roots which are creating them. All the heroes could do were actually watch as they tried everything in their power to get rid of these roots. No knife, no dagger, no weapon and no quirk could hurt these vines as they grew and grew more to tree-like branches with flowers all around them. However, there was a short moment it stopped growing. Bakugo was now completely in its grasp and there was a flower right above Bakugo's head. It was there slowly withering as each of the flowers did. As fast as they grew, they started quickly wilting and withering away. Bakugo. Ah arg. Fuck. The child in the being's hands was screaming, cursing and trying his best not to show any kind of pain. Too bad that this was not such an easy matter, as this was just the beginning of its true wrath.